I'm Dorothy Rowe, and the video you're about to watch is a clip from a live webinar. If you enjoy the content of this video, please like and subscribe. I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you.
Let's look for a minute to the financial world. And what we see is we go in with an intention, right? It's good to set the intention. And the intention is for everyone who has a stake in the financial world. And that really includes everyone, because anybody who works and earns money, or anybody who has money, has a little bit of a stake in that. So it's not just the big boys who are playing the high rolling games on Wall Street. Really everybody has some connection to the world of finances. So for all of us, we all have a little bit of an investment. We all have a toehold in that world. That honesty prevails, that Dharma prevails. Dharma is the sustainer. That our ability as a healing collective right now to promote a positive change in the world of finance does so in a way that supports the highest good for everyone. And sometimes that could mean that people who have a lot of money, it could be that for them spiritually, the best thing is to experience some redistribution and some balancing for them. Because you and I know, we all know that to sustain a human life in opulence and comfort and dignity and well-being takes a certain amount of money. But then over and above that certain amount of money, the money isn't really doing that person any very much good unless they're structured in such a way, unless their heart and mind are structured in such a way that they're using it to create that same level of resource, same access to resources for everyone else as well. But if it's a selfish thing, and I think there was another question that kind of addressed that selfishness. I think I'll consider that question finished. Yeah, people who claw their way up to the top, trampling on others, and are not happy people. We can't chew them out over their suffering, and they do suffer. That's so true. They feel terrible lack, compelled to acquire more status, power, wealth, luxury, beauty for themselves. If they only knew that these things, even at the top level of society, are pitifully inadequate. Isn't that so true? Like cheap toys compared to the status, power, wealth, luxury, and beauty of an enlightened life. Not to mention health, happiness, and eternity. A rock on the road, seen with celestial perception, is more exquisite than the most costly diamond, viewed in ignorance and stress. Well, nicely put. So, what we want to do is we want the thrust of the healing not so much to be we're not so much choosing a particular financial outcome. We're not choosing a specific financial outcome like, well, that person should lose so many dollars and that person should gain so many dollars. No, the outcome of the healing is to balance the playing field in terms of the integration of being in the hearts and minds of those individuals who have the most influence over the financial world. We want those to be enlightened financial leaders. We want all of our financial leaders to be enlightened leaders. So I'm just feeling that sort of deep dive of awareness into the source of creation. That's the next step. And of course, a nice, big, very, very sweet, very, very heartfelt awakening in the heart area. Very beautiful, like the compassion element is there and the innocence is there with the truth, because the truth, it's like, the truth is like the tide coming in. When we're leveraging the truth, we're bringing our awareness in such a way as to cause that fountainhead of pure truth coming from the source of creation to shine unobstructed with. Remember, yesterday's healing was to leverage the ability of the north and south nodes of the moon, which naturally obstruct, but they also naturally see, right? Because they see into the deepest, finest fabric of awareness, of consciousness, and they know the point where divinity has the greatest potential to integrate. So we're using the skill set that we evolved from yesterday in this healing to activate that capacity, that tool, that gift, to be able to see that spot where the divine has the greatest ability to awaken in the field of finance and in all the individuals, particularly, especially with such tenderness and such care, such delicate awareness and sensitivity to the emotional needs of those individuals who have the greatest sway over the financial markets, have the greatest power, financial power in our world, to wake up divinity, to wake up the flow of truth, to wake up the light that reveals that expression of oneself, that undeniably reveals who a person really is, who they really are in their essential nature, in their true nature, not the lying person who goes and brags about how he's doing things that are illegal to sway the masses, to force everyone into little compartmentalized ways of thinking so that he can make a ton of money. That's not the real guy. That's not the real guy. That guy inside, his essential nature is pure truth. His pure potential to be a force that supports life, that supports the well-being of everyone, supports everyone's full potential, everyone's pure potential. It expands his perception. I'm saying his, but it could be multiple hises, multiple forms, multiple beings, multiple people. It expands that experience of oneself as associated with pure potential to a collective level of pure potential. Everyone's pure potential as a collective. The light of our pure potential shines in on that pure potential and lights it up like a million lumens. This moment of reckoning, it's a moment of reckoning, of self-reckoning. Oh, wait a minute, who I really am. And what are the effects of my actions upon myself? Because, in the interview of the hedge fund manager, he was thinking so much about the effects of his actions on the masses and on the financial markets. And he talked about the federal government, the Federal Reserve. He controls them, and he controls them like that. But he wasn't really thinking about the effects of those actions on him. And of course, innocently, the media and the government and so forth are all affected, but not innocently. he influences himself. And what is that effect? What does that do? What does that level of manipulation and lack of consideration for the dignity of others, what does that do to oneself? No wonder, as my lady said here, that these people are very unhappy people. There's a reason for that. So we're just letting that process. It's already occurred, but it's occurred like deep within. And so now it's bubbling at that fine level of creation in the gap between the unmanifest and the manifest. It's the reckoning, and it's the recognition, the awakened recognition that, oh, everything I do has this like really profound effect on me. Like it does, it cultivates some effect in my nervous system. Remember earlier I was saying that the ability to raise consciousness to that very high level and to be living life, experiencing a very high level of consciousness is the nervous system and the consciousness. Consciousness expands, nervous system refines. Consciousness expands, nervous system refines. Back and forth, back and forth. What does that do? The awakening and the reckoning and the recognition of, oh, my actions shape my nervous system. And then my nervous system is the vehicle for the expansion of my consciousness, which is the key to my success in every area of life. Every area of life. The question he has to ask himself is, should I sacrifice all the other areas of my life just so that I have some cheap toys? Is that what I really want? Is that really think about it? You're smart, right? He's a smart guy. These are smart guys up here. You can't get into the financial markets if you're dumb. They have all kinds of protections in place, and people have to pass all these tests, and they have to get all these licenses and things, and they're not easy. You have to be smart to get up there. So we appeal to the intelligence of the leaders, the financial leaders of our world, to take a look at what they're sacrificing for the sake of cheap toys. There, I'm feeling it. It's like our circle, our healing circle, has got this thing going like this. It's like a swirl. It's going shh. That lightsaber from England, man, it's like this. Shh. It's just that. And it's gentle, but it's gentle. Because it's really important that the lessons come through. The lessons have to come through in a way that the heart hears that deepest truth. If the lesson comes through in like a cruel or damaging way, then the inner sensitivity shuts down. There's already a little habit in there of shutting down. So that habit is being unwound, and that habit is being unwound for everyone. Everyone. Oh, I'm so glad you asked this question about finances. It's so beautiful. Such an important question. Still feeling that swirling, the spinning top. And we're using our astral bodies here. Here, I'm just describing what's happening in our group so you guys can tie it back to whatever you may be experiencing. Our astral bodies are comprised of threads of consciousness or light. This is where awareness becomes the flow of attention, right? That attention is like a flowing awareness, and it travels over these threads. And the threads are organized up in a very nice, stable pattern that supports the application of energy from deep down in the physiology. I'm feeling it down around solar plexus area. So solar plexus energy, solar, the sun is also represents wealth and health. So no surprise to get a little bit of sun energy, little Atma sun energy coming in here. The sun illuminates. It illuminates from all points of perspective simultaneously. So our healing collective is quite a big healing collective. We've got a big group here today that from all of our points simultaneously, we create this big ball of awareness, of that reckoning, that recognizing and reckoning awareness, but gently, very gently, that it's like a heat-seeking missile. It goes to the leaders of our financial world. Humbly, humbly, just like here's an offering. Here's an offering. We appreciate the responsibility that you have. We appreciate you. We want you to enjoy enlightened living, inner and outer quality of life. Like that rock on the road, right? With celestial perception, the rock is beautiful. Well, those cheap toys, they look a lot prettier if you've got the inner light going too, right? So much respect. It's a huge responsibility. Very intelligent people. Very big responsibility. Very big responsibility to be honest and to function in such a way that everyone's resource increases, because the increase of the resources of the common man, and particularly the middle class, are essential for the upper echelon to have their opulence. Everyone has to be comfortable. Nice. I feel the wave is resolving now. That was a big wave, you guys.